Hi everyone, I wanted to talk to you about posture today because it is so important, and I think we really underestimate how important it is to set yourself up correctly to start the swing. If you start correctly, everything else is easier. If you start incorrectly, then you're kind of catching up the whole way through. And posture is really easy to get right. You've got time to, even if you're trying to be fairly quick, you've still got time to make sure everything is right. And so I wanted to show you some of the biggest mistakes that people make when they're setting up to play their shot and the easiest things to fix. I've also got a little video that I can link to that shows you how to get into your posture, because everyone's a little bit different. We've all got different length limbs and all sorts of things. So I've got a special video that Denise and I, the ProGolfGals, did to show you how to get into your posture that's right for your body height and shape using biomechanics. So I'll link that as well, which is obviously really helpful. But I'm going to go through the most basic things that people tend to do wrong. So I've got a student here who came along to one of our golf schools, the ProGolfGals golf schools, recently, and this day was actually pouring with rain, so he's doing pretty well. But what I liked about this particular student was that there's a few things that we can pick up that are really common that people do wrong with their posture. The first one you can see straight away here is that he's very straight up and down. There's not a lot of angles here much at all. So if I pop an example of somebody else up in the corner here. Now, who have we got? Okay, so this is Rory McIlroy, and you can see he's a lot more angled. He's got a flat back, he's got plenty of room in here, and when you're very straight up and down, it's really easy to come over the top and slice. It's harder to get the body working properly because there's not as much space in there. Who else have we got here? So this is Adam Scott. Now he's only got an iron, so it's a little bit harder to compare him here with our student. But again, you can see much more angled. And again, here's Lexi Thompson. Now Lexi has a driver, so we can compare her a little bit better. Bit more knee bend, a bit more angled from the hip. So our perfect position here is bending forward from the hips and letting the arms hang down from the shoulders. You can see our student's got his arms sort of out at an angle. So if his bottom was out a little bit more, the weight was a bit more into the front of the feet, and he had a bit more of a tilt forward, that would be perfect. And it may look to you like this is not that much different between the two, but the subtle differences make a huge difference. We just need a bit more room in here for him to work with. Now, if we go to the front angle, you can see here there's a few things here that we can also see that need a bit of work. Now, ball position here, really close to his front toe. It needs to be more in line with just inside the front foot. And the front feet are a bit narrow. We want to widen our driver stance. It's the only one where we'll widen it a bit beyond the shoulder width, because it gives you a bit more balance. It's the longest club in the bag, and we need the most balance for this club. Now, this here is Adam Scott. Now you can see quite clearly the width of his stance here compared to our students, and his ball position. It's actually a little bit further back than just off the inside of the front heel. Now, what will go wrong here is the ball position too far forward is easy to pull the ball off to the left. Then what happens is you start compensating, holding the club face open a bit, then you get the slice. So everything that's happening with our student here is encouraging a slice. The hunched over, bottom tucked in posture, and also the ball position too far forward. So it'd be pretty easy to fix this guy's slice just in the posture. Or it certainly would make life a whole lot easier for him just by adjusting the posture. Now he's also got a little bit of a weak grip. Now this left hand is too far underneath the club. Weak doesn't mean how tight you're holding the club, or strong grip doesn't mean how tight you're holding it. Weak means the left hand or the leading hand is a bit under, and strong means it's a bit too much on top. So with this particular grip, it also encourages a weak shot out to the right. So we would fix that up and get that left hand a little bit more on top of the club, and that will straighten you up as well. Again, similar, you can see ball position just inside the front foot, wider stance. So those are our main sort of points. A little bit too hunched over from the rear view here, which is really common, particularly for women. I think women don't want to stick the bum out, but you really do need to. But very common in general. And then from our front angle, as I was saying, a little bit wider stance, ball position on the inside of that leading heel. Strengthen up that grip in this chap's case. But there's some of the basic stuff that you need to keep in mind. Take your time and get your posture right. You can practice it at the range, practice it in the mirror. If you look dynamic and set up well to the ball, it's going to make such a difference to how consistently you play this game. And it is something we have complete control over. So take your time to get your posture right. Those few basic things I talked about should help you a lot. Check it in the mirror and let me know how you go.